guys, KayBeast here, and I am back home after a round of house sitting and visits, so I'm finally back with another speed paint, and I'm pretty happy to be back. This particular piece I actually did the last week of May. I've been recording ahead the past few weeks. I've actually got another video recorded and ready to go for next week too, which is good because I have a few more trips planned this summer, so I'm trying to stay ahead of schedule, and it seems to be working so far, and I'm pretty pleased with myself. So yeah, so about the piece, as you can see, I am drawing a snake. Particularly, I'm drawing an African variable bush viper, which is where the title of the thing comes from. Atheris is the genus name of the snake, so I can't pronounce the species name, so I'm not even gonna try. But yeah, I love snakes, which, if you know me, isn't a surprise. I know I've probably mentioned it in previous videos. I have an old one I did last year of my old channel logo, which featured my boa constrictor. I have a boa constrictor. She's 17 years old, and I've had him since 1998, and yeah, I'm pretty obsessed with snakes. So I wanted to paint, you know, something that obviously excites me, and bush vipers are among my favorite species to draw because of the bright colors, which is pretty common with venomous species, and also their keeled scales, which is the kind of scale that sticks up at the end and has that ridge down the center. A lot of vipers and rattlesnakes are known for having scales like that, and it just looks really cool and it's fun to draw, and I wanted to do it in watercolor. I've done a watercolor study of one a while back in a watercolor sketchbook of mine, but I wanted to do a more finished piece. And I've also done I've also done a painting with ink wash that I did as part of my first Inktober challenge that I did 2 years ago. So yeah, so I've drawn it before, but I just wanted to kind of do it again using my newer materials and things. And I also was using this as a way to test another kind of paper that I have. So the beginning part of this piece is pretty much the same as what I've been doing. I did my sketch and stuff on computer paper, transferred it using my light box, only this time I used my Copic SP multiliners to do the line art instead of my colored pencils, because I was testing multiple things with this piece. I was testing the paper, I was testing the ink, trying to find a new way of doing things. So this particular paper that I have is Canson mixed media paper. I have two sketchbooks with this paper. One is 7 by 10. One is 7 by 10, and one is 9 by 12. So I wanted to do a smaller piece, and I wanted to see how well this paper was with watercolor. And because I've done ink wash drawings on them, I've done a lot of other things with that paper, but I haven't done a full watercolor piece. And yeah, I kind of know why. After doing this, it buckles a lot. It's 160 gram paper, so it's definitely not built for the kind of wet-on-wet techniques that I'm used to doing. So it buckled quite a bit, and I had to be careful with how much layering I did because it didn't quite eat the paper, but it got pretty close. I was able to rein myself back a little bit. But I just wanted to try something with different paper and to see how it worked. And it wasn't terrible. I mean, I'm looking at the piece right now. It's a little warped, but I could probably flatten it in a book, and it should be fine. It did not handle the masking tape well, unfortunately. It tore on the edges a little bit. So, wasn't thrilled with that. I'm not sure if that's the paper or if it's my tape, because my tape does that a lot. So I think I need to invest in some nicer masking tape, I think. I've seen a lot of YouTubers who paint use a tape that's blue, and it seems to work, so maybe I just need to invest in some nicer tape. But anyway, so my techniques with painting this are pretty much the same. I do a lot of light washes to build up the basic colors, and then I was originally going to draw all the scales with my multiliners, but it wasn't working, and I wasn't getting the strokes that I wanted, so I decided to do it with the watercolor. And my watercolors are pigmented enough that I was able to do it. I just didn't water them down too much. I'm using the Winsor and Newton Cotman still. My palette's almost completely full too. I only have 3 more tubes of paint I need to buy, and then my palette is good to go. And I think a little bit further down the line I might do a little watercolor supplies video, show you guys what I have. It's not the highest end stuff, but if you're on a budget like I am, or you're a student, it's not a bad set of stuff to work with to get yourself going. So yeah, I might do that further down the road once my palette's filled up. So this piece will be up for sale on my store Envy, so go check that out. I'm not sure if I want to add it to my Society 6 or not. I haven't really gotten a lot of traffic there yet with my current stuff, and this one has a lot of errors on it that are bugging me too much to really consider making prints of it. Every artist is their own worst critic, but some things I'm just like, no. So, however, if anybody out there is really dying for a print, or to have this on something else, like a phone case or whatever, just leave a comment below, and if there's enough interest, then I'll put it up on Society 6. Yeah, I could have done better, but in any case, it was still a fun exercise, and now I know how well the paper handles watercolor, and I got to paint a snake, which makes me happy. So, there you go. I do have a little announcement that's in reference to last week's video that went up, the little mini painting video that I did with my girlfriend when we were house sitting. One of the Pokemon paintings I did, the Tyrant, is still available for sale. The Oddish already sold. I was showing my friend John the paintings when he came home from vacation, and pretty much the day I left he was like, I want to buy that. And I said, okay, let me bring it home, photograph it, and spray it with a sealer, and then I'll bring it back. And he bought it. So, so Tyrant is still available, and I have also purchased more of those little canvases and eagles, and I think I'm going to put up a listing on my store Envy for commissions. So they're $10. These little canvases. I'm gonna say Pokemon for now, although I probably might do a snake or something further down the line. But yeah, I think I'll open those up. So if anyone's interested, go check out the store Envy listing. And just a little note: the simpler the Pokemon design, the easier it is to paint, because those little canvases are 2 by 2 inches, and then I have a rectangular one that's 2 inches by 1 inch. So, you know, something really crazy like Xerneas probably wouldn't fit, but like a Pikachu probably would. So if you're interested in commissioning me, just keep that in mind. I'm really dealing with a very small work area. So, but I'll have all that information up on the store and do listing as well. So for my last little bits, I again pulled out my Prismacolor Premieres and just kind of went in to shade and darken some areas, because I didn't want to do it with watercolor because the paper had already taken too much. And then for the last little bit, I pulled out my Pentel pocket brush pen and did thickened the line art along the outside of the snake, because my initial lines had kind of gotten lost among the colors, and I really wanted the snake to stand out from the background. And then I went nuts with my white gel pen because I love that thing, and why not? So yeah, I think we're pretty much heading to the end of this video now. You'll probably see me pulling off the tape and ripping some paper, so yeah, that's gonna knock the price down a little bit because the paper is a little torn up. But anyway, if you're interested, it's on store Envy, so go check it out. And yeah, I've got a couple more fun things planned for the next few weeks. I've actually planned out my video through the end of July. So keep an eye out for that. I hope you guys look forward to it. And yeah, I want to do more reptile art. It's one of my favorite things to paint, so yeah, I might do more of that in the future. But anyway, oh, that paper. Yeah, I need the tape. So anyway, here it is, and go check it out on Store Envy if you're interested, and let me know if you want me to put it up on my Society 6, and I'll consider it. So yeah, I guess that does it for this video. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.
Alright, you first.
My mic.
Mike Wazowski!
Mike Wazowski. This is my artwork. Now show them your white canvas, Karen.
I did tie red.
Yeah. So John bought some Copics.
Yay! Only 2.
Only 2, but it's a very addictive hobby. So, and with the shortage, it's kind of like that timing too.
You know how I like to collect things, Karen?
I know.